Thanks to retro achievements, I can play some of my childhood favourites and some new experiences from the retro times and get achievements for it. Which got me wondering, can I get all the achievements in
Simpsons Road Rage?
So 40 Winks was a fun time, but now I got the hardcore bug, and I want to do it again. The question was, what game should I do next? And then I thought, how about something from my top 100? Simpsons Road Rage. The Simpsons Road Rage is a crazy taxi clone with most of the chaos but none of the charm. However, childhood bias stops me from disliking it, so let's see if all the hours I sunk into it during my lonely childhood has paid off. We've got a total of 44 to require. 18 involve story progression, 10 related to the 10 missions, 6 high scores, 3 skill tasks, and 7 that need me to enter a cheat to play as secret characters. So grab some donuts, a beer, and as many snacks as you need, and let's go hardcore. Yes, I know it's a shit catchphrase, but it's throwaway, okay? For my first run, I wanted to try and maximise my achieving, I guess, by getting the 3 skill ones plus completing a run as Smithers, with at least an insane rating. Entering the cheat code, I dive into the first map to familiarise myself with the shortcuts, time bonuses and the best routes to take. Then it all comes flooding back as to how shoddy this game actually is, and why it's called Road Rage, with extra emphasis on the rage. The 30-second load screens, the short list of jokes that repeat every few seconds, the bitch that is the AI traffic, but worst of all, the janky as all hell physics. For a game that encourages destruction, it really can't handle it well. The hit detection is awful, and you hit almost everything without even trying, sometimes sending you out of control as if you were made of flubber. You can literally be slowed down or forced to a halt by anything. Trees, buildings, thin air. As you get further into your runs, even the slightest bump can cost you a customer, which isn't easy to avoid as the roads begin to fill with the rubble of your reckless driving or the reckless driving of your enemy, the nuclear bus. These are enemies you need to watch out for, the nuclear powered bus and that cunt Montgomery Burns. So the bus looks as though it's driving around the map, following a route, knocking shit over, taking away your bus stop bonuses and causing havoc just to get in your way. That's half true, as it is a pain in the arse that gets in your way. However, it does not drive around the map. It spawns randomly as you get near one of its spawn points, usually at the worst possible time.
Denied.
Burns, on the other hand, is a lot more direct in his approach. He will get his unnoticed lover to ram into you to throw off your delivery time or ruin a safe trip challenge. Some cases he is easy to avoid, but other times he will appear out of nowhere or be so persistent until he actually chases you that he will go beyond his despawn point. What's supposed to happen is, hit or miss, Burns will then retreat to respawn somewhere else. Sometimes, however, he will break this rule and is so desperate to ram into you, he will chase you down outside of his spawn zone just so he can get you. Most of the time, when he did this, however, I would already be picking up a customer and he looked so pathetic and petty in the background when he would do that. Now, despite these issues, I was able to get a great first run as I familiarised myself with the shortcuts and preferred routes that I had as a child. Sadly, it wasn't as successful as I wanted it to be. When I finished, I got the Smithers achievement, but not the skill ones. This is because you can only play as Smithers with a cheat code, which also auto-locks the achievements when set to hardcore mode if it detects one was used. So I decided that I would save the cheat characters for last. So on to my second run. So I put the game on hard difficulty for a bigger money multiplier but less time to start. And then earned 4 achievements in one go. I completed a safe trip challenge, completed a safe trip with no collisions, completed a road rage challenge, and then at the end of the level I was able to get the 1k milestone achievement. A good start, but 4 achievements would be the most I could earn in one go. So my plan from here on was that I would grind cash to reach milestones while aiming to get Madman rating on each level. So for every milestone I hit, I would choose to unlock a location before I started unlocking characters so I could move on to the next location once I got the Madman rating. I would also use this time to try out each of the starting characters to see who would be my main. Homer's average. He's okay at everything, but he's not what I'm looking for. Bart is fast but handles like shit due to the length of his car, which makes him bump into everything, and his overcompensating steering is way too harsh. He's also one of my most hated characters in the show, so the less I see of him, the better.
Oh man, this sucks.
Lisa has similar problems, with the only benefit being that her car is shorter than Bart's, but I also hate her too.
Newsflash, you suck.
Marge is slow and clunky, making her a prime target for the nuke bus and the wrinkled old ballsack that is Mr. Burns. And as for Grandpa's pretty great. He's fast, but he's not too fast. He's agile, but his steering isn't harsh. And his small size allows for some sneaky squeezings to be a harder target to hit. So I think my main zoomer is going to be this boomer. As I was doing the experimentations, I was able to get the 50k milestone. Taking a break from the main game, I decided I was going to get the missions out the way. Mission 1, done. 2, done. 3, done. 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh god, no. Now I remember what the problem with the missions was. This mission was an absolute bitch when I was a kid, and it's still a bitch when I'm an adult. So the missions up to this point has been to either reach X point or destroy X amount of items within the time limit. Mission 8 is another destruction mission, and you need to destroy piles of logs within the time limit. The issue? The time limit is harsh and unforgiving. You need exact perfection on your button presses to complete it, but I could never ever get it as a kid. But what's really annoying is that when I played this a few months ago to get video footage for the B-roll channel, I was able to complete the level. I was able to complete the mission, and I could not remember how I did it. And I was hoping that maybe something would trigger my memory. So I tried the mission and failed. So I tried again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and getting more frustrated at how much I was failing. How could I have forgotten how I did this when it wasn't that long ago? And after 11 tries, I remembered how to do it. In the most unusual way. Something actually did trigger my memory. And do you want to know what it was? You see that? That forced left turn I did after hitting those logs? That's what unlocked the memory. Now, as weird as it is, this is the truth. When I once completed this, there was a point where I got hit by a car and it forced me to do a right turn, which sent me down this road, revealing a hidden pile of logs. The main reason I kept failing was because the last bunch of logs were always out of reach because my time limit would always run out. So with my memory triggered, I grabbed the hidden logs, continued the route as normal, and finally, success. With a sigh of relief, and still a deep hatred for Lisa. Then straight on to Mission 9, finished. Mission 10, finished. 10 more achievements obtained, and a brand new car.
The sticker price is $82,000!
To finish off that day, I decided I was going to get the next milestone, as I only needed a few more dollars to get it. I unlocked the final map, and decided that Christmas would come early as Xmas Apu was called out for the day. A new dawn, a new day, and I am not feeling good. I started off looking at the achievements I'd yet to get, and decided I was going to aim for the Madman achievements on each level, and I was not looking forward to trying them, but they had to be done. So to reach Madman rating, you have to accumulate $15,000 on each level. While doing a warm-up as Homer, I was able to accidentally get the Evergreen Terrace Madman, so that was nice. But I still had 5 more levels to try and get it on, and I was unfamiliar with all of them. A few more warm-ups on Evergreen Terrace later, during which I got 2 more milestones. I then went in to do a scout of the Entertainment District. And I'll tell you what, Moe's Pink Rubber Daisy must be a lucky charm because I was able to nail the Madman achievement first time. I went back to Evergreen Terrace again to get the next milestone because once again I was only a few dollars away, and then I went to the Springfield Dam, and the look of the daisy seemed to pass over to Homer as I also got Madman on the dam on my first try. Everything was coming up Millhouse, which meant it was immediately going to come crashing down very, very soon. Damn it, Millhouse. Next up was the nuclear plant level, and this one I was finding very difficult. While small with a lot of open areas, it's very cluttered and trying not to hit something is an achievement in itself. And as a result, I wasn't able to get Madman. So I decided that I would also scout downtown and mountains to decide which would be the easiest to get the Madman on next. They all proved pretty difficult, especially the mountains. Oh, fucking goddamn, will we get to the mountains? Out of the three, downtown I had the most confidence with, as I was scoring pretty high but getting just short of 15k. During my time trying to get Madman, I was able to score the 200 and 250k milestones before finally getting Madman on the same run that I got the 300k milestone. I went back to the nuclear plant where I had a massively pleasant surprise. Somehow, my incompetent, worthless, stupid as hell arse was able to score over 50k money in a single run. And no shit was I able to get Madman from that. I was on a confidence high and eagerly jumped into the mountains to get the last Madman achievement. Confidence is a killer, and oh fuck did it kill me. When I was a child, I learnt two very important life lessons. Confidence is a killer, and the higher you fly, the further you fall. And by God did the Springfield Mountains remind me of those lessons harshly. This level is notorious among players for being the most rage-inducing, insanely irritating, and most blood-boiling level that brings out the worst in anyone who plays it. As the smallest map in the game, it features the shortest journeys and the fewest locations, but on the flip side, there are no shortcuts and it's cramped as all fuck. 10 attempts I did in a row on this mission, trying to get Madman. 10 attempts of that damn bus stealing my time bonuses, of harsh turns that are a bitch to navigate, of the goddamn jump that you won't make if you're too slow of a car, or if that stupid bastard decides to run in your way just to slow you down enough so that you don't make it, of roads that become blocked because that stupid bus takes up all the fucking room, tiny as shit time limits, a level structure that shows just how bad the physics engine actually is, shitty collisions, only just breaking 10k, too many fucking problems to list without me getting pissed off. The only good thing I can say about this level is that occasionally the nuclear bus got stuck in the ditch, which meant it was out the way for a bit, but that's like lying in bed for 8 hours and then finally drifting off knowing you've got to be awake in 10 minutes. Frustration was getting the better of me, and I needed a plan. The main issue I was having was that I was running out of time. But why was I running out of time? Then I had a thought. I'm playing on hard, which gives me a reduced time but a higher money multiplier. What if I swap them around for this level to get a smaller multiplier, but more time? Nope! Only made it worse. Still frustrated, I was rattling my mind for a solution, and I wasn't finding one, so I thought I would have to admit defeat. But then, a moment of inspiration hit me harder than that fucking bus. So I thought, well, I nearly did it as Wiggum. Wiggum's quite fast, so the speed was what was counteracting my small time. I did a few more runs with different characters to see if there would be anyone who could beat Wiggum in speed, but none of them were meeting the mark, and I had no clue what to do. That was until I hit the 500k milestone, and then the answer became clear. Through the red rage mist that was plaguing my mind, I made out the shape of my saviour.
Hey.
My nerdy, geeky saviour. I can neither confirm nor deny if Professor Frink is in fact the fastest character, but when I played him in his mission, he was very fast and very easy to control, and that was good enough for me. So I set the game back to hard, and the run was going very well. I was getting where I needed to go in record time, I was making serious bank, Frink felt great to drive compared to anyone else on this map, but I was still cautious. One mistake still could have cost it all, and during the run, I broke 14k once again, and I was close to 15, but would I make it? The final customer was in sight. Would it work? I did it! I finally did it with literally 0 seconds to spare. And no exaggeration there on literally. When the game timer started again once I regained control of Frink, it was a flat 0 despite the fact I had just earned 5 seconds. It was a seriously butt-clenching moment, but the euphoria I felt when I finally completed that level with a madman rating and I could use my middle finger to say farewell to that fucking level was amazing. And with that, one of the hardest achievements in the game was done. And the rest of it was just smooth, casual sailing. All that was left to do was get the remaining milestones and then use the cheat characters. But that would be pretty boring for the video, wouldn't it, if that's all I had to do. I figured I would get the milestones out the way first because those are the ones that add to some sort of progress within the game itself, and the cheat character's money doesn't contribute to the milestones. In order to do so, I just went back to the power plant and grinded that level over and over to get a fuck ton of money every time. But I noticed something. Leaderboards were also a thing. And I was doing really well, and I mean really well, in the power plant levels. Should I go for the number 1 spot? I think I will. At the time of this recording, I was able to get the number 1 spot on the leaderboards for the power plant level. And I honestly could not believe that I had done it.
Hello everyone, Editing Zach here. I checked just to make sure whether or not this was true or not still, and I am no longer on the top of the leaderboards, but I am still in 2nd place. So, kudos to Fem Toppy for taking the top spot. Well done you. Anyway, back to the video.
With that much money, it got to a point where I would only need to earn $1 for the next few runs to reach the next milestone. I earned them all in no time, gave it to Mr. Burns and saved the day. With a possibility of death as a reward. After that, all that was left was to finish with the cheat characters, and one by one, the achievements came in.
Mo, get in the car. Oh, hi, Midge. Please don't tell Homer I hit on you. Whatever you say.
Okay, Marge, is there something that you want to share there? It's none of my business anyway. What is my business is that mastery up there in the corner. So the answer is yes, I can hardcore the Simpsons Road Rage. Despite the fact it is a complete mess, it is still one of my favourite games to play. Yes, it's a cheap clone of Crazy Taxi. Yes, it's very frustrating with how incompetent it is sometimes. Yes, it doesn't have as much thought put into it as Crazy Taxi. Yes, the mountains almost gave me a stroke. But I still had fun with it. A lot of fun with it. However, I am going to need a break from it before I even come back to play it casually. Which is a good enough reason to think about what game I should cover next. I'm thinking something set in the past. Maybe with a fantasy theme. Something from an era long since gone. Something medieval.